go. Welcome back, everybody, to Stuttgart. We were here earlier in the day when we watched the Andreeva sisters play. Unfortunately, that match didn't get to finish. It was only halfway through before it ended abruptly. But let's see what happens here, because we've got the match between Frey and... So not Frey, she just played. Fett and Swiatek. So let's see if Iga Swiatek can get off to a good start. She's won this tournament before. These two have actually played before, so let's get the preview, because these two players actually have played. So you can see there, this is a very interesting part of the draw. Penko, Navarro, they're going to play tomorrow. Swiatek, if she wins, will take on the winner, which is not easy, because we all know about Penko, but also Navarro can be a tough one. And Navarro had a really good win against Sadaj Maya in the first round. So, very tough draw for Swiatek. On paper, she could bagel everybody, and then everyone's going to have a go at me for that. But she could bagel everybody, but she could also have a very tough match coming up next few rounds. We've also got Andreeva, Alexandrova, Pegula in the semi-final potentially for Swiatek. So again, it's not easy. This is not an easy draw for Swiatek. The top half is much better if you're in the top half. But she's playing Fett, number 153 in the world. She is 28 years old from Croatia, 5'6", right-handed, 5 wins, 6 losses on the year. She's got no titles this year. In fact, no career titles. And her form has not been great. But she made it through the qualies and she beat Bekic. So she's playing well this week in this tournament. And she's playing the world number 2, Iga Swiatek. Made the semis last year, I'm pretty sure. 23 years old from Poland. She is 5'9", right-handed. 21 wins, 6 losses on the year, but no titles. That's the issue. She's got no titles. But she has got 22 titles in her career. She's won this tournament a couple of times. So she's got the Porsche. But unfortunately, hasn't won a title for a while. I actually played at Wimbledon a couple of years ago, and Swiatek got the easy win. Part of the Swiatek streak back in 2022, when Swiatek couldn't lose until, I think, well, maybe a couple of days after that match that she played against Fett. She did end up losing. But Fett was a part of the Swiatek streak. There you go. Part of the Swiatek winning streak. One of the many, many players that got involved in that. All right. How are we doing, chat? What's going on? They're probably going to be a bagel, probably. I mean, that's what we expect. What happened to the Andreeva match? Erica had a knee injury and she had to retire halfway through the second set. Unfortunately, or the start of the second set, unfortunately. But Mirra's through, so that's fun. Jana Fett has to be George Lucas' favorite. That's funny. Star Wars joke. I know. Yeah. What are the 2 songs in the intro? No idea. I don't know. I don't know. Not sure. Oh, man. All right, the intro to this is crazy. Jeez, they're going all out with this intro. Lights are flashing. Someone's going to start singing. What the hell? Rooting for Swiatek. Nice. So, also, while we're here, Zverev is about to win against Altmaier, and Tsitsipas took the first set against Korda. So that's happening as well. And tomorrow we've got Barcelona between Alcaraz. We'll go back to Alcaraz and Jera tomorrow. And I don't know what happens here. I'm not sure what happens here. I don't think Swiatek plays tomorrow because her opponents haven't played yet. So her opponents play tomorrow, and then she'll play on Saturday. Because remember these two. So this half of the draw. This tournament doesn't play on Friday. So Friday is not a day to play. They take the day off because it's Good Friday. Out of respect for religion, they take the day off, and they come back and play on the quarterfinals on Saturday, and that means the finals on Monday. Whereas Barcelona, they keep playing, and they'll play on Friday, so we'll watch that. And Portugal, I'm pretty sure, play on Friday. By the way, chat, we were very lucky today because we watched the doubles in Portugal just to fill in the time, and I saw a photo, and it's pouring rain in Portugal. But it looks like they bought covers for the court, so that's good. They bought the covers out for the main court, so at least that'll hopefully save the court from having to be relayed every time. But yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to do with. We'll watch Eala tomorrow as well if it all works out. But the rain's terrible in Portugal right now. That tournament is so. I mean, it's going to rain all week in Portugal, on and off. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. Would you say this is the best 500 level week with Stuttgart, Barcelona, and Munich? The best 500 week so far, yeah. But I think the middle grass court warm up season is better. I think the tournament. Maybe not. I mean, Queen's Club, Halle, and Berlin on the grass is all pretty. I mean, that's pretty awesome too. So it's probably between this and that. Probably. But the problem is that a lot of players pulled out of this week, so it's kind of a bit disappointing. It could have been a lot more stacked, you know. A lot of players missing from these events. Tsitsipas is up a set and a break against Korda. Zverev just won in pretty easy straight sets as well, so that's a plus for him. Didn't have to push too hard against Altmaier. And the winner of this match will take on, like I said, either Penko or Navarro, who are playing tomorrow. So it's gonna be a test for Swiatek to win another Porsche. Griekspoor or Hanfman? Yeah. So yeah. Zverev plays Griekspoor or Hanfman. Yeah. Swiatek has a lot of points to defend. She has to step up, so she doesn't drop as the clay season progresses. Yeah, exactly. I mean, she cannot afford to. She could be number 3 in the world by the time we get to the French Open if things don't go right. Do you think Fils, Mensik, Fonseca are top 10 eventually? Yes. And you can chuck Tien in there as well. They're just warming up the last couple of shots, and then we can start this match. Steph avenging his loss against Korda in Miami. Well, so far, so good. But don't jinx him. Don't jinx him. You got to put Tien in there as well, don't you? As a possible future top 10. Who could take Swiatek's spot? Yeah, Pegula could be number 2 in the world by the French. Which is a little unexpected, right? Because it's not like that we don't respect Pegula, but second seed at the French is kind of wild. You know? What's the name of this tournament? This is the Stuttgart Open or the Porsche Grand Prix Tennis something. It's the Porsche event. The Porsche Open, Porsche Tennis, Porsche Tennis. They sponsor the arena and the tournament. Hey, Peter, thank you for the 29 months. Appreciate it. Fett plus 8.5, you reckon? Okay. Has Penko ever played Swiatek on clay? No. Which is what makes it very interesting. That's what I'm so keen to see. I want to see what it looks like when they play on a clay court. I feel like it's a very interesting because you think home court advantage for Swiatek. But then again, this clay court is not your regular clay court. So I personally, I want to see them play at Rome or in Roland Garros because I think that's like advantage Swiatek, right? That's gonna if Swiatek loses to Penko on that surface, then that could be a problem. But yeah, I don't know. Like if she plays her here and Swiatek loses here, I mean this court is a little quicker than. I mean Raducanu has beaten Swiatek here. You know Swiatek's had losses on this court before, so It's a little different, this one. What do you think a Stuttgart final will be? I think it'll be Swiatek Sabalenka. I think Sabalenka's got a great draw. I think, unless she plays Gauff, I think Sabalenka makes the final. And I think it'll be, Swiatek. Either Swiatek or Andreeva versus Sabalenka. Because I think the Andreeva is probably, and I know Penko's still there, but let's say Navarro beats Penko. I think Swiatek versus Andreeva is crazy. And I think Andreeva might like her chances there. But I think Sabalenka should make the final. I mean, look, the best semi-finals, I think, would be Swiatek versus Andreeva, Sabalenka versus Gauff. Winners play each other. That'd be fun. I kind of wouldn't mind Gauff-Swiatek in the final. Because we know Gauff's been beating Swiatek lately on a clay court, but on a hard courts, but it'd be really interesting to see if that makes a difference on clay. If Gauff can do anything on clay against Swiatek, right? Because that's obviously the next step for her, I think. Which is the most dangerous sport, Cam? Probably Formula One. All right. Like car racing is probably the most dangerous, right? Shark fighting? I don't think that's a sport. All right. Swiatek is going to serve first. Who you got, chat? I've got Swiatek in 3. Swiatek in straights. What am I saying? 3. Just making things up. Swiatek in straights. This should be a straight, easy forward match, right? All right. First clay court match of the season for Swiatek. As she double fault? Love 15. And Swiatek serves to fold again. Second serve. Serve to the back end of Fett. Fett hits it long. And it's 15-all. 15-all. Serve again. There's a fault by Swiatek. Second serve. Serve into the forehand of Fett. Return goes wide. And it's 30-15. Swiatek in 2, you reckon? Okay. Cheerleading is in the USA is the most dangerous sport here, if you consider just number of injuries. I think when they said dangerous, I thought they meant like, what's the most dangerous sport is in like that you could like not come back from. You know what I mean? Tennis is definitely not on that list. But I'm thinking like high-speed car racing is definitely something that if you make one little mistake, your car flies around and bad things can happen, right? Like that's where I'm at. Skiing is also very dangerous. That is true. Skiing can be very dangerous, true. 40-15. Swiatek's going to win this in 20 minutes. 40-15. As the return goes into the front of Swiatek. Swiatek's down the line's a winner. All right, 1-love to Iga. Chess is dangerous. Depends who you play. If you're playing somebody who gets really angry, then maybe you're in danger. I'm in danger. One Love Swiatek. Let's see what Fett can do. Fett was good against Vekic. We should include chess in the Olympics. I was going to say something really mean, but I'm not going to say it. Board games in the Olympics now. What are we doing? Come on. I thought the Olympics were for athletes. Come on now. Monopoly? What's next? God damn. I take it back. I know chess should be. Chess is an intellectual sport. I don't know if it's an Olympic sport though. Like, isn't the Olympics for physical, like showing the physical athleticism of things? I don't know if mental intellect is. I mean, look, I wouldn't say no to chess being in the Olympics. I think that'd be kind of cool, but I don't know if the Olympics is. Like, wasn't the Olympics originally for like the strongest people and the strongest like athletic people? Wrestling in Athens and stuff like that. Like, it was a physical thing. It was about physicality and athleticism. So I don't know if I don't know how like like the first Olympics. I don't think they were using their heads. They were kind of trying to I don't know, not just trying to out muscle each other. Stamina, endurance, athleticism. Yeah, but look, I would say it's 2025. We can bring it in. Chess in the Olympics, I wouldn't say no to it. I'm just thinking like, but is it not in the Olympics because it's not physical enough? It's about, Olympics is about a display of physicality, yeah. Break dancing was awful, yeah, but break dancing's out of it now. So it doesn't count anymore, it's out. As we're a slice now from Swiatek. That goes long, 40-15. (40-15). As we just serve again. And the return from Swiatek goes long. 1-1. I mean, they had kangaroo hopping at the Olympics. Anything goes. Can we just... Okay, they got rid of it, all right? Breakdancing's out of the Olympics. It was then there for one day and it was out for the next, all right? What other sports should be in the Olympics, though? What sports are not in the Olympics that should be in the Olympics? Poker shouldn't be on ESPN? Well, yeah, poker shouldn't be in the Olympics. Pickleball? I don't know if pickleball is going to make the cut just yet. Why not cricket? Yeah, isn't cricket in the Olympics next time? Aren't they bringing cricket in? They got rid of baseball, didn't they? Baseball got kicked out. But cricket's in? Maybe? Parkour. NFL? MLB? I don't think NFL's too niche. It's like the NBA. It's like America, we're going to just win the basketball, right? It's like just a free gold medal for the Americans if you bring in NFL. Netball. I thought netball was an Olympic sport. 30 love. It used to be because the Aussies and the New Zealand used to win all the time. Cricket has been in the Olympics before it, but it should be back. Okay, maybe it's because I mean, it's only because America can't do and most of Europe don't play cricket. Oh, actually, that's not true. Europe play cricket. Maybe they should if they're going to bring cricket in, they should bring it in T20 because that's a little bit more random than doing like real like long cricket. Maybe T20 cricket would be good for the Olympics. Because you could get like massive upsets happen, right? All right, 30-15. Fett with a return. Golf is not a sport. It is as much of a sport as bowling. Yeah, look, we all have our favorites, but surfing being in the Olympics, I think, is awesome. I love that. I love that surfing was in it last year. It was so good. Actually, next weekend I might actually go to the surfing. This weekend I might go to the surfing because the surfing's down at in Victoria today. This week, 4:15. Go to Bells, watch the surfing, go karting. Okay, 4:15. That's what it served into the backhand of Fett, and Fett hits it out, and it's 2-1 Swiatek. Is Olympic tennis or Grand Slam tennis more important? Grand Slam tennis. Winning a slam is more important than winning an Olympic medal. We have this conversation every 4 years. Olympics is nice. In tennis, it's nice, but it's not the be all end all, right? It's not like you have to win the Olympics. You have to have a gold medal, otherwise you're not a good tennis player. It's like, no, Wimbledon's our biggest thing, right? Winning a Grand Slam, winning Wimbledon is like the goal. That's the holy grail, right? And a gold medal is like a nice. It's kind of like a. God, I always every time we get into this, I always sound like a dick. It's the Olympics is like a nice. It's a side quest. I said it. It's a side quest for tennis players. Unless you're a GOAT and you have to have it to like overtake somebody else. Like Djokovic getting the gold medal, it added to his legacy. But for 99.99% of players in their careers, it doesn't, like a Grand Slam. I mean, Zverev with a gold medal, do you think he's going to be happy with no Grand Slams and a gold medal? Or do you think he'd rather have a Grand Slam and a silver medal? He'd probably say, I love the gold, but I think deep down he'd really want a slam. Like a Grand Slam is what he's missing. We don't all go, well, Zverev won a gold, that's good enough. We don't say that in tennis. You know, we say, the best player not to win a slam. We don't say the best player not to win a gold medal, because there's a lot of those players. A lot of players didn't win it. And the problem with, and again, I say this every freaking time, the reason why the gold medal is not seen as much of a big deal in tennis is because back in tennis wasn't in the Olympics for so long. So when tennis wasn't in the Olympics, a lot of our great players of the sport didn't get a chance to win one. So we kind of go, well, Rod Laver didn't get a chance to play for one. Borg, McEnroe, they all didn't compete for it. So it kind of was like, It just doesn't have the same, and maybe it will in like time, but it doesn't have the same importance as other sports, right? I mean, some sports, it is the only thing that matters, right? Swimming, track and field, like those sports, it's like the Olympics is like once every 4 years, it's their thing, like that is it. You train for that. Whereas in tennis, you train for the Grand Slams. And you play to play a slam, and you try and do that and win that. Also, the fact that not everyone can be in the Olympics is, there's can only be like a certain amount of players per country. Maybe it makes it more exclusive, but I don't know. I don't think that's my opinion. Maybe you guys have a different opinion. Maybe you think gold medals are Grand Slams. All right, love 30. Double fault for Frere. I'm not saying winning a gold medal is... Of course, Zhang would be happy with one. I'm not saying that players that don't have a gold medal are unhappy or that not winning a gold medal... Look, Swiatek definitely wanted the gold last year, right? It's really important for her. But I don't think most players are playing tennis because they want to win an Olympic medal. I think most players are playing tennis because they want to win a Grand Slam. I didn't start playing tennis and practicing and training my ass off to try and win the Olympics. It was to try and win the Australian Open. That was why I tried my ass off, right? That's what would get me fired up. It wasn't because I wanted to win the Olympics. Otherwise, I would have stuck with track and field. All right, love 40. Love 40. Swiatek with the break points. As a return, goes back to Swiatek, down the line off the tape, into the corner Fett. Fett hits it out, 3-1. Swiatek breaks. 3-1. Would you say an Olympic gold medal is icing on the cake for Alcaraz? Yeah. I said that with Djokovic. It's sort of like he didn't need it to prove anything, but it's like it adds that. It's like the cherry on top of the icing is getting all the achievements, and then the cherry on top is the gold medal for Djokovic, right? You know. I mean, you could probably, if you wanted to, let's keep it with the cake analogy because I love cakes. Cakes, desserts, we love desserts, delicious. Grand Slams are the cake. The icing is the 1000s and maybe the ATP finals, and the cherry on top is a gold medal. That's the layer of a tennis cake, right? It's not pineapple flavored, gross. Yeah. It's a chocolate cake, chocolate lava cake that you cut in half and it melts, right? 3-1. Ain't no pineapple in this cake. 15 love. Swiatek with the break, 3-1. But obviously some players, the Olympics means more because it's seen like a bigger deal in their countries. Poland, China, Serbia, you know, they take a lot of pride with Olympics. Like that's their thing. But like I said, as a tennis as a whole, Olympics is not... Like, I think most people in tennis are like, oh, Olympics, cool, that's fun. But it's not like, you know, like, it's not, fans don't see it as like the only, like the thing, right? It's not the thing you need to do. You need to win that thing. You know, some players skip the Olympics, and it just shows you, you know, how important it is if they skip it, you know. As with a winner there from Swiatek, 30 love. What the hell is a chocolate lava cake? Are you kidding me? God, you're living under a rock. One in the chat if you know what a chocolate lava cake is. The hell? How do you not know what a chocolate lava cake is? That's crazy. Delicious. Come on now. 30 love. All right, cool. It is delicious. The Ag agrees. Thank you. All right, 30 love. Swiatek with the break already, 3-1. As a return goes in from Fett. She's also got her arm super wrapped up as well, Fett. So
unbelievable.
That was a good return, though. 30-15. 30-15. Carlos's reaction after Olympic final loss told us about gold medals. Again, didn't I just say? I'm pretty sure I just said, like, it depends on the player. Like, some players, obviously, it's more important than others. And countries, right? So, yeah, Alcaraz's reaction shows that, yeah, he wanted to win it, and it was the thing that he wanted. But, like, if you talk to most players, I mean, so many players skip the Olympics. And I think that's more telling than the reaction of the guy who got silver, who promised to bring it home to Spain, right? I mean, as we know, next down to Swiatek, 40-30. But yeah, just I mean, Swiatek's reaction to losing to Zhang. I mean, that was obviously heartbreaking that she didn't win the Olympics or win the gold, right? But again, it just depends. Because there's players like Sabalenka who didn't even go to the Olympics. And I know for different reasons, but there's also players from America that didn't play the Olympics. And you go, well, okay, how important is it if players are skipping the tournament? As with a 4-1 winner for Swiatek, she's got 4-1. You know what I mean? One loss doesn't define you at the Olympics. Iga has literally won everything on clay. Exactly. By the way, this is Swiatek's first match on clay since the Olympics. So there's the connection. So anybody wondering why we're talking about the Olympics, that's why. We're doing that now. That's why we're doing it. It's a segue. We're doing a segue. Swiatek's last match was on clay, and that was at the Olympics. So that's what we're doing. It would have been really cool to see Vekic, who was the silver medalist, play against Swiatek, who was the bronze medalist, but Vekic lost. So I think if they're competing in it, you want to win it. Yeah. I think if you get selected and you're playing for your country, you're in the Olympics, it's an experience. But But also, like, if it was so important, then everybody would play without missing. Like, you'd only miss for injuries, but it's players miss because they don't want to play or they just don't feel the need to play it. You know. A Master 1000 is better than gold. I think a gold medal is probably on the... And I said that it was on the same level as a 500, but I've kind of changed my tune a little bit. I think a gold medal is kind of like a WTA Finals trophy or an ATP Finals trophy. Like, I think it's sort of on that level where it's like... Yeah, the one... I think it's more prestigious than a 1000 because 1000s are so much easier to get. But ATP Finals trophies are not easy. Like, it's very hard to win that title, right? You're playing the best of the best. So I've elevated it from a 500, which I was maybe just being a little bit mean to it. I think it's as, like, winning it is as prestigious as winning the ATP Finals. That feels more, because you get a lot of, like, you can get some random ATP Finals champions, and, but it's like, you know, like Zverev winning the ATP Finals, Tsitsipas winning the ATP Finals, right? That's like the biggest trophy they've won. Or the Olympics for Zverev, right? I think it's a level above 1000s. But it's not as big as a slam. There's no way it's on the same level as that. But it's kind of like an ATP Finals, I think. Or a WTA Finals. It's like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, that was a big trophy, a big deal. And you beat the best of the best to do it. And, you know, it's really hard to do because it's only one time a year, right? You get one chance per year to win the... And plus, you've got to qualify for the WTA Finals to then be able to play it. And then you've got to win it. So it's like, you only get like... WTA Finals, if you're lucky, you might get 5 chances. If you're really lucky, you get 5 chances, right? As that goes out by Fett. So I think in terms of like exclusivity and prestige, I think Olympic gold, trying to get the Olympic gold is probably on the same level as the WTA ATP Finals. You know? Yeah, in terms of importance. But it's not like you have to win that. Because Rafa didn't win the ATP Finals, but we don't talk about it, do we? We don't mention like, oh, Rafa didn't do that. We go, no, he won all the slams. He won 22 of those. French Opens, everything else. We never talk about like, oh, but Rafa didn't win the ATP Finals. It's like, okay. Like, it's not a big deal. You know, we don't really see that as big of a deal, right? 1530. It's nice to have, but it's not like... Yeah, people do mention it, I know, but that's because they want to down... You know, the people that want to... Most people don't talk about... Like, no, most people don't even know that Rafa doesn't have the ATP Finals. The people that want to do that are just the ones that just want to discredit Rafa. But when Rafa had 22 slams and it was more than anybody else, nobody was talking about ATP Finals. Nobody was talking about golden... Like, nobody was saying golden masters. Nobody was saying ATP Finals when Rafa had 22 slams and nobody else had that. When he was 2 ahead of Roger, nobody was talking about Masters 1000s. I remember. We were there. Remember 2022? Because that's all that really matters. Grand Slams are really the only thing that matters. And Kira said it himself. 30-40. Remember that, chat? Remember? When Rafa won the French Open, he was 2 ahead of everybody else. And we're just like, oh, Rafa's the GOAT because he's got 22 slams. That was it. Nobody talked about anything else. That's all that mattered. The most slams. That's all that mattered. And then Nole overtook him and then started doing side quests. 30-40. 30-40. As Fett serves a fault second serve. Anyways, I don't know how we got back onto this topic, but let's get back to the match, which is going very quickly. Very quickly. As we just serve into the back end of Swiatek, return goes in the front of Fett. Swiatek down the line to the back end of Fett. Into the back of Swiatek. Fett with the backhand again, the back of Swiatek. Swiatek gets wide and deuce. In obituaries, gold medal will be mentioned before 1000s. Yeah, of course. Of course. Of course. It'll be like, here lies blah, blah, here lies player 1, 2, 3. They were an Olympic gold medalist, a Grand Slam champion. Like, it would be like, they won Wimbledon and the Olympics. Like, that's what, they won't be like, and Indian Wells. Like, it's not the same, it doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? And they also won Monte Carlo. It's like, nah, Because then you're just going to name every single thing they ever won, right? So you're right. It will be on there, like, you know, it will be like one of the life achievements, but it's not like you know, like I said, it's not. We're back onto the top. Anyways, back to the match. Moving on. Advantage Swiatek to get the break and go to 5-1. Serve. Into the forehand, Swiatek. Return goes back into Fett. Swiatek backhand into the backhand of Fett. Down the line of the forehand, Swiatek. Fett forehand. Into the backhand, Swiatek on the stretch. Fett with the backhand. Into the backhand, Swiatek. It's Fett backhand again. Into the backhand, Swiatek. It's Fett with a forehand. Now to the backhand again of Swiatek. And Swiatek in the net. We're back to deuce. All right, back to deuce. How do they say who competes in Stuttgart? Depends on your ranking. Just like any other tournament, it depends on ranking. All right, first serve's a fault, second serve. Second serve, Fett. Serve the back of Swiatek, but it's a double fault. Swiatek's got another break point advantage to take the double break in this first set and then serve for the set. Side quest is crazy. Yeah, okay. Side quest is maybe a little harsh. Serve. In the back of Swiatek. Forward now from Fett. To the forehand of Swiatek. It's Fett down the line to the back of Swiatek on the stretch. Cross court the backhand of Fett. Swiatek backhand down the line. Fett gets with the forehand cross, and Swiatek gets there into the forehand of Fett again. Backhand from Swiatek crossed into the backhand of Fett, who puts up a moon ball. In comes Swiatek with a swing volley, but hits it out. And we get back to deuce. Bad miss by Swiatek. Who do you think is going to win the Porsche? I feel like it's really funny if Andreeva wins it. But I'll say Swiatek, but it's hard. It's hard to know because we haven't seen Sabalenka play yet. We haven't seen Gauff play yet. Andreeva played half a match today, and Swiatek's playing right now. So let them all play one match and then ask me that question. I want to see them all play one match on clay, and then I can maybe have a better answer. Advantage Fett. Because I think it's even between. I think there's maybe 5 players that could win this tournament. There's 5 players that I think could win. Like they're all, for me, they're all pretty even as well. You got Andreeva, you got Sabalenka, you got Swiatek, you got Pegula, and you've got and Gauff. I think they're the 5 that I think could win it. Obviously, there's other players that could win it too, but I think they're the 5. Like, I don't know if there's a favorite between those 5. I don't know if there's a clear favorite. Maybe there's maybe Pegula's not on the same level as Swiatek and Sabalenka with favoritism, and maybe Gauff's a level below as well. But I think Andreeva, Swiatek, Sabalenka have got to be pretty even, right? And then maybe Gauff, Pegula just behind them. But I don't think there's a clear favorite yet. As the return goes out by Swiatek and Fett holds. No bakery in the first set, 4-2. Can you be part of the Tennis International Hall of Fame without winning a slam? Not as a player. Not as a player. I think every player every player that's in the Hall of Fame has a Grand Slam. I don't think any. I'm pretty sure there's no Hall of Fame player that has no slams. But you have to have a slam. And there's players that have slams that aren't in the Hall of Fame. It's not easy to get in the Hall of Fame, and it shouldn't be. We start letting everyone in, then what's it mean, you know? It's got to mean something. Does that go... Is an ace out wide? And it's 15 love. Love. As we serve again. Into the backhand of Fett. Backhand of Swiatek to the backhand of Fett on the stretch. Swiatek forehand. Into the backhand of Fett. Swiatek with the backhand again. Into the slice of Fett. And Swiatek forehand cross court. Fett on the stretch puts up a lob. And it goes wide. 30 love. Cam, is it bad that Swiatek only performs on the clay? Not true. Like she I mean, that's not true. She's very good on hard courts too. I mean, her results on hard courts are pretty decent too. As with a backhand return from Fett into the forehand of Swiatek. Fett with a pass in the net. 40 love. It's just that clay is Swiatek's better surface, right? She's better on clay, but I wouldn't, like... She doesn't only perform on clay. She was 1 point away from an Australian Open final this year. This year, right? She's won multiple Indian Wells titles, right? And it's Fett. Hits a return, but it's wide, but Swiatek is asking the umpire to check. Umpire says that it's wide.
It's out! It's out!
And it's 5-2 Swiatek. Obviously she won a US Open. She wasn't able to play the Asian Swing last year because of the ban, but she also was really good at the Asian Swing the year before. WTA Finals, we forget as well, she was not far away from qualifying for the semis, but she missed out because she won 2 out of 3 matches, but so did 2 other players, and her result was not as good against Gauff as the other players were, right? So she was like this close to qualifying in the semis of the WTA Finals, which who knows what would have happened. Maybe she would have won that thing. Who knows? But she was this close. She obviously made the final of with Polk. Mia's having a time. She was this close to making winning the United Cup this year. Poland, USA were just stacked though. That's a little rough. For her. So I mean, again, there's definitely a lot more positives. Like Swiatek is definitely not a bad hardcore player. Clay's not her only surface. It's just that like last year, she won most of the clay court tournaments. But she can play on hard courts. She was, you could say, unlucky. It was close. She was this close to doing some. I mean, she could have made an Australian Open final. We probably wouldn't even mention hard courts. We'd be like, oh, she did that. She's had some strange losses on hard courts recently, but the Eala loss is still, still there, and losing to Gauff, but that was something that didn't happen. But Gauff's also number 3, or was number 3 in the world recently. So Coco, losing to Coco on a hard court, you got to credit Coco for that, right? I think Andreeva will be a brick wall for Swiatek. I want to see them play again. I want to see Swiatek versus Andreeva on a clay court this week. I want to see it this week. Semi-finals. Chat, I know some of you in the chat who are Swiatek fans, you're going to be with me on this one. I don't want to see Swiatek-Penko. I know the world want to see it. All the neutral fans are like, yeah, let's get that one. All the haters also want to see that probably. But I know Swiatek fans, maybe you're scared of her, and that's fine. Be scared of her. Penko is scary. But I don't want to see that match because I want to see Andreeva take on Swiatek in a semi. I don't want to see Penko-Swiatek this week. I want to see that. I want to see the Andreeva match. That's more interesting for me. So I want Navarro to beat Penko tomorrow, which she could. And then Navarro-Swiatek quarterfinal, winner plays out Andreeva. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see Penko versus Swiatek. I want to see that on a slow clay court. Both can happen, true, but I don't want to see... I'd rather see Andreeva play Swiatek than Penko. Because everyone's like, oh, Penko, it's really fun to watch Penko-Swiatek because it's like random how like one-sided it is. But I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it this week. I want to see a serious match. I don't want to see a meme match, right? I feel like Penko versus Swiatek is a little bit a bit of a meme, right? It's like, oh, the player that she can't beat. I'd rather play Andreeva on a clay court because that actually means something. Like Penko Swiatek are not going to play in the final of the French Open. But Andreeva Swiatek could. I'd want to see that because that actually, it has more meaning. Like it's more interesting because, it's not just like a fun like, oh, hey, there's the player you can't beat. That's funny. I don't want to do that this week. I want to see the matches that matter. You know what I mean? I want to see the matches that we're going to see at the French Open. I want to get previews of French Open matches. And Penko, I don't think Penko and Swiatek are going to play at the French Open in the finals. They might play in the third round, but I want to see Andreeva Swiatek. That's way more interesting for me. It's a much more serious preview into what we might see at Roland Garros, right? 15:30. As we're forehand now from Fett into the forehand of Swiatek. Fett with a forehand goes wide. Swiatek's got set points. 15:40. 15:40. If Navarro plays like anything like she did yesterday, Penko's in trouble. Yeah. Yeah, Navarro, I know she lost to Swiatek pretty badly at the Australian Open, but Navarro is also not easy. It's not an easy match. 15:40, second serve, Fett. Pegula could stop Andreeva. See, I want to see Pegula Andreeva. That's fun. That's really fun. That's a really interesting match, to be honest. Backhand slice is a drop shot from Swiatek, but it's in the net. 30-40. I really want to see... Actually, you know what? Swiatek semifinals, she plays the winner of Pegula versus Andreeva. Pegula Andreeva, have they even played? I don't even think they've played. I feel like that's a top 10 match we haven't seen yet. Unless I'm losing my mind. Maybe they played when Andreeva was super new. No, they've never played. Ooh, let's get that match. Anyways, Fett hits a winner and it's back to deuce. Yeah, let's get that match. Let's get Andreeva versus Pegula quarterfinal. Winner plays Swiatek. That's what I want to see. That's the kind of matches I want to see. All right, nice volley from Fett. We get the deuce. Especially because Pegula seems like she's like on fire right now. The way she's playing. Like she made the Miami final. She won a tournament before Indian Wells. I mean, Pegula seems like she's kind of a healthy Pegula is back, Whereas this time last year, Pegula was kind of missing because she was injured. Advantage Swiatek. Also, Pegula, she made the final in Madrid one year. Or did she win Madrid? No, she made the final, right? Made a semi of Roland Garros, a quarterfinal of Roland Garros as well, right? So Pegula, nobody's talking about Pegula winning Roland Garros, right? Nobody's talking about her. All right, advantage Swiatek, second serve. Fett. Double fault, there's the set. 6-2. Yeah, Sabalenka, Pegula will be 7-5, exactly. All right. 6-2. By the way, Tsitsipas beat Quarter. 6-4 in the second. So that's fun. Yeah. Ooh. And now Grigspor Hanfman are playing. Ruud versus Medvedev. Ooh, that could be interesting. Also, is the schedule out for tomorrow? For Stuttgart, it should be, right? First set, by the way, 7 winners and 11 errors from Swiatek, 4 winners and 14 errors from Fett. Yeah, that's not easy for Kasper at all. Medvedev, I think, came through the qualies as well. So, interesting. No, schedule's not out. Not yet. Not yet. By the way, speaking of Penko, she's playing doubles right now. Pardon me. She's playing doubles with Yastremska, who she beat yesterday. Tsitsipas versus Feast is on Friday. Is that confirmed, though? Oh, it is. Chat, Good Friday is going to be a great Friday. Great Friday. Tsitsipas Feast. Ooh. Runa Rude. Chat, Barcelona is delivering. Barcelona is coming through with the goods. Ooh. Chat, we're getting those juicy matches. We could get Demonor versus Alcaraz as well. Demonor Alcaraz could also be a match. Barcelona coming through. Hopefully Barcelona is a good weather, though. What's Barcelona weather on Friday? It's fine. It's not going to be bad. Saturday's going to rain, but that's good. Barcelona on Friday is going to be good weather. And we're not watching Stuttgart because they've got no tennis in Munich either. So we've got no tennis on in Germany. So we're going to be watching Barcelona and we might watch Portugal depending on the hour. But yeah, Barcelona is our focus and we're going to be locked in. If Rude has to play Medvedev. But if Runa, I mean, chat, come on now. Tsitsipas Feast is already locked in. Rude versus Runa, Alcaraz Demonor, and then maybe Rublev versus Hashanov or Rublev versus Munar or Fokina versus Munar. It's not bad, but I mean the other matches are just pure fire. Rude Runa, I mean that was a quarterfinal at the French. Feast versus Tsitsipas could be a quarterfinal at the French. Demonor versus Alcaraz could be a quarterfinal at the French. I mean these are all quarterfinal. This is what I'm talking about, chat. These are the matches that we want to watch in these tournaments so we can get ready for French Open tennis in 6 weeks. They're the matches. We want to see these previews now because we could be getting them at Roland Garros. So excited for that. So excited. Love 30, by the way. Fett, chance to break first game of the second. So pumped for that. Can Zverev win Munich? Yeah. I think he can. I mean, his draws opened up. Cerundolo is the biggest problem for him, but he's on the other half of the draw, so that'd only be the final. Return goes wide by Fett, 15-30. Didn't know Germany was so religious. I mean, yeah, some countries... I mean, Australia has the same thing. We didn't play sport on Good Friday for so long, but then they changed the rules. And now we do have sport on Good Friday. But, yeah, I mean, for a long time, Australians didn't... I mean, I don't know if in your countries, but in Australia, on Good Friday, there's... Like, the shops are all closed. Like, everything's... Nobody goes to work. Everyone takes the day off. Nothing happens. Like the only thing that happens is like a charity thing that happens, which is for the Children's Hospital. That's the only thing that happens on Good Friday in Australia. It's a Good Friday telethon. Is that what it's called? Where you call up and you donate, and there's got like the whole day is just full of like celebrities and like it's just a big raising of money for the Children's Hospital. That's what we do on Good Friday here. And now we play sports because they changed the rules. England as well, everything closes? Okay. What's Good Friday in America? What do they do in America or Canada? What happens in those countries? 30-40. As we serve out wide to the backhand of Fett. Fett hits it out, deuce. New Zealand's the same. Nothing happens on Good Friday. It's like just normal day. All right, we get the deuce. As we just serve from Swiatek into the forehand of Fett. Return the backhand of Swiatek. Fett with the backhand to the backhand of Swiatek. Fett with the backhand on the stretch. And Swiatek backhand again to the backhand of Fett. Into the backhand of Swiatek. Fett with the forehand to the backhand of Swiatek, who hits it down the line for a win-up. Or was it? Did the umpire call that out? Umpire's double checking that they were right, but he's not going to change his mind. Yeah, it was wide. All right, advantage Fett. Work in the US and all the stores are open on Good Friday. Oh, okay. Interesting. You don't work on Good Friday, but everything's still open. See, nothing's open here on Good Friday. Everything is closed. Everything is shut. So tomorrow the shops are going to be crazy. As that goes, why buy Swiatek? One love. I went to the shops today, and it was crazy. It was crazy enough. What's Good Friday? Good Friday is part of Easter. Hang on. Wait. Hang on. Wait. Let me get this right because I don't want to. I want to make sure I get this right. I know the rough story, but just let me just get it right. It was the crucifixion of Jesus. The day Jesus was crucified. That's what Good Friday is. And then he came back on the Monday. Was it? And Monday is the... Chad, I'm terrible. I'm trying. By the way, this is for the Western... Wait, how does this work? Yeah, it's a religious holiday. Sunday. He rose on the Sunday. Because it was 3 days, right? That's the... Right? I'm not going to read it all out to you, but... Yeah. So that's what Good Friday is. There's an Orthodox Easter as well, right? Just like Orthodox Christmas, and then there's like Christmas. There's two different Christmases. All right, 15 love. As the backhand goes down the line of the forehand of Swiatek. Swiatek gets a winner. It's 30 love. Orthodox calendar is 2 weeks later. Oh, okay. Interesting. So it's the same. They celebrate the same. It's the same. How do I say it? It's the same. So it's the same reason for the days off, but it's just 2 weeks later. So the Orthodox calendar has a 2 weeks difference. Is that what you're saying? Like Christmas is like in January, Orthodox Christmas, but it's still celebrating the birth of Christ, right? But it's just 2 weeks later because the calendar's different. But it's still the same thing. Celebration doesn't sound right. The same... What's the word, chat? Give me words. I can't think of words. Anyway, it's 30-15. Still the same... It's the same thing. I'm trying to understand. Holiday. Commemoration. That's a good word. Commemoration. 30-15. I'm trying to be respectful here. As that goes out on the serve of Fett. Oh, it was a double fault. Okay. 30-0. Which goes to show, don't mix religion with tennis. No, I think it goes to show, don't ask a guy who talks about tennis all the time about religion. 30-0. Or politics. I have no idea. A17. 40-30. 40-30. Anyway, so that's what Good Friday is. And on Good Friday in Germany, they don't do tennis. No tennis in Germany on Friday. That's why we're not having Friday quarterfinals on Friday. Because it does relate, even though it's like, I mean, look, London Lady, you don't want to mix it, but it's already mixed. It's already a part of it. It's already a part of it. As we're backing down the line to the slice of Fett in the net, deuce. Because if it wasn't a part of it, then we would have been playing on Friday. Yeah, long story short, no tennis on Friday. All right, deuce. Let me get to deuce. As the return goes into the forehand of Fett. Forehand Swiatek goes wide. Advantage Fett. Advantage Fett. We're all learning a little together. Exactly. Advantage Fett. Just like when we talk about why don't they play on Fridays in the Middle East. We learn about those religious days as well. As we forehand now into the backhand of Fett. Backhand out from Swiatek. Into the backhand of Fett sliced. Fett hits it long. We're back to deuce. I think your religious study is good. Well, yeah, I wasn't raised religious or anything like that, but I know being from Australia, it's like the default is following, Christmas and Easter, and, we follow the traditions, right? Being from Australia. That's just how it is. So it kind of just is like, that's, you know all the stories from just doing from the Christmas carols and from the nativity scenes. Fun fact, I was a sheep in the nativity play. I was the sheep. I hated it. I didn't want to be there. I was 4 years old. I didn't want to be there. Advantage fans. True story. I didn't want to be there. I was a sheep, and I was like, I don't like this. I don't want to be on stage. I don't know why there's all these people looking at me. Leave me out of this. I don't want to be here. Too love for Fett. I don't want to be here. There's too many people looking at me. And now I sit here and there's 1,000 people watching. That's great. See, chat. See how I've evolved. I've grown up. Times have changed. I'm no longer a sheep. Oh, God. All right. True love Fett. Swiatek serves. Into the backhand of Fett. Backhand of Swiatek goes to the backhand of Fett. And Swiatek gets the point. Fett in the net. 15 love. 15 love. Exactly, Cam. These countries aren't mixing religion with tennis by making their holy days a day off. Wait, they're not mixing. What do you mean they aren't? Oh, they're not mix. Wait, what? You're confusing me, London lady. Are you talking about Germany's not doing that, or you're saying Barcelona's not doing that? 30 love. You've grown up to be a big sheep. You mean a goat? Delete that. That was so stupid. That was so lame. Get rid of that. Have you seen that joke where the guy's like, goes, I can't drink alcohol because it turns me into a legend. Yeah, I have a problem when I drink alcohol. I become a legend. Don't clip that. Anyway, it's 30-15. 30-15. Swiatek serves again. Serve against Swiatek. Out wide, the backhand of Fett. Fett in the net, 40-15. Stop joking, Cam. We have a match. $40-15. Swiatek serves. Fault, second serve. Second serve, Swiatek. Tennis is our religion. We have tennis gods, etc. Oh yeah, no, tennis is definitely. Yeah, this is definitely. This is the. This is definitely a tennis church. Use lava cake in a tennis analogy, Cam. I already did that earlier. Was anyone triggered when Diego drew a cross and laid on it? He's a 17-year-old kid who just got excited over his first win. I think we got to look. So many people have been so harsh on him, and I get it because it's not how you are supposed to act. But the dude's 17. He just won his first ever match. It was a bit much, yeah. It was definitely a bit much, but I'm sure he's never going to do that again. But man, I feel like a lot of people have been really harsh on him. Mainly just people commenting on things, being like, that's not how you're supposed to be. And it's like, okay, well, he's a kid, you know? But hey, he'll learn, and he probably won't do that again. But I hope he doesn't lose that fire. Like, I hope he doesn't, like, nerf himself. You know what I mean? Like, I hope he doesn't, like, the next time he wins a big match, he just goes, thank you. Like, I hope he keeps that. And, like, I love the drawing the cross on the ground and lying on it and stuff. I mean, that was okay. I don't know what that was about. But the initial celebration of him, like, screaming and shouting, I'm like, I hope he doesn't lose that. Because when he wins a match without a retirement, I want to keep that. Because I think that's good. Like, I love that energy. Like, that was good. The fact that, look, again, we talked about this yesterday, but, like, you know, yes, you don't celebrate somebody who retires. But a 17-year-old kid who just won the biggest match of his life in front of his home crowd, that's a massive deal for him. And he kind of got robbed of the win because Shapo retired. And it wasn't Shapo's fault that he robbed him of the win. But it's like, well, what's he got to wait for the next time? He might never win a match again. We don't know. He might never win a match again. That might be his only ever win. Hopefully not. But, you know, yeah. So, yeah. I hope he doesn't like... I hope he reacts like that when he wins the next match. At least the first, like the initial, like shouting and getting fired up. Like, I like that. That was good. That was raw. That was how anybody would react to their first win against anybody, right? Most players would probably react like that. Or at least he would, you know. Most players would be that happy. Maybe not react like that, but be that happy. I think people are over-policing celebration. Yeah. I mean, people get angry at Ben Shelton. And he does nothing. He hangs up a phone and, you know, like, yeah. I mean, the people that get angry at Ben Shelton are the same people that probably get angry at anybody who celebrates. People think Alcaraz says vamos too much. I mean, that's just, what are we doing? Like, it's the same. It's the same thing. Anyways, love 30. Love 30. As it a serve from Fett. But I'm also a Leighton Hewitt fan, so I'm pro celebration. As a Leighton Hewitt fan, I am pro celebration. I'm pro emotion. And I'm pro getting fired up, right? I am pro vamos, all right? As a Leighton Hewitt fan. Because when he would scream, goosebumps. When he'd say, come on, after a big point, and then like start revving the motor, start, revving the lawnmower. You know what that means? It sounds weird, but you know what it means? Goosebumps. Goosebumps. Right? When Rafa would hit a passing shot winner and say, vamos, goosebumps. I love that shit. When Serena would roar after hitting a crazy shot, goosebumps. That's what I love. So I'm pro celebration. Anyways, 15:40. Swiatek hits it out. Chance to get the break back. Medvedev just broke. 2-love in the first. What? Casper, you got to play Rude tomorrow in a couple of days. Don't ruin it. Come on. We need Rude versus Runa. Actually, Medvedev Runa is pretty fun too. All right, 15:40. Break chance again for Swiatek to get back on serve. Fett serves. Into the back of Swiatek. Backhand from Fett. In the net. There's the break back. 2-2. 2-0. All right. We're back on serve. No bakery, by the way. Not today. At least unless we go to a third set, but no bakery. You think Swiatek can win the rest of the matches for the tournament? They're going to be tough ones. Going to be some tough matches. There's a bit of fault from Swiatek. Second serve. There's a return. Goes in. Back in from Fett to the forehand of Swiatek. Swiatek in the net. Love 15. Love 15. Serve again from Swiatek. As the return goes out by Fett, 15-all. Connor's celebration was out of this world. Check some highlight reels. You mean I love the celebration when he played that rally and then he when he won that rally at the US Open when he was like 40 years old. And he was just punching the air. I love that shit. I love that. I would have been a Connors fan back in the day. Connors would have been my guy, I reckon, back in the 80s. Because he was not, you had McEnroe, Borg, and then Connors. And I would have been nah, I want Connors. I'm going him. 70s, 80s, it would have been Connors for me. The outsider. Everyone's you got all those guys are all friends. Then you got this guy. I'd have gone, Jimmy would have been my guy. And Pat Cash. All right, 30-15 is a backhand return into the backhand of Swiatek. Fett with the backhand of the forehand. Swiatek into the forehand of Fett. Swiatek backhand. Into the forehand of Fett on the stretch. But Fett hits it wide, 40-15. $40-15. Chad, should we get Laver Cup Connors come back for Laver Cup? I feel like we need Jimmy back. He's been in and out of tennis the last couple of years, the last couple of decades, but I feel like we need Jimmy back. Get Jimmy on the Laver Cup team. Let's get Jimmy as coach next year. We need Jimmy Connors back, Chad. I know he's 72. I know he's older than he's a bit. He's 72 now, but I'd love to see him on the bench. Maybe he won't go to Europe and do it, but maybe if they came back to America the year after, and he can maybe Jimmy and who would be on the Team Europe though? It can't be Borg. Backhand winner Swiatek 3-2. Also, Jimmy used to grab. You know what? After major point. Wait, what? Well, that's interesting. Okay, 3-2. Is Enon the second best player of the century or Venus? Ooh. You're talking about in the 2000s? Second best player of the 2000s? That's a good question. That's a good question. Let me have a look at some stats and then we can talk about it. Venus or Enon? That is a tough one. Because you could argue that Venus would have been better if Serena wasn't around, but Enon won while Serena was around. Sorry, Venus. You could argue that Venus would have won more and would have been probably a better player if Serena didn't take all her slams, but Enon beat Serena to win slams. But she won 7. So, I don't know. That's a good question. Do you back the player that would have had more slams had Serena not be around, or do you go the player that won her slams by beating Serena, or at least some of her slams, right? They're both number 1. They both won 7 slams. Justine won 3 out of the 4. Could have won Wimbledon a couple of times, but she should have won Wimbledon in 2006. Or at least she had a chance to. And then won a gold medal in the singles. So did Venus. God, their careers are very, very close. Anyways, 3-2 Swiatek. That's a good question. It's a tough question to answer. Anyways, love 15. You know what? I'm going to go Justine. Is Sharapova in the conversation? Well, that's true too. I mean, Sharapova was denied by Serena as well, so she would have. I'm gonna go. I'll go with Enon because I feel like beating Serena and winning slams by beating Serena. Whereas if you won your slam, and I know she did beat Serena sometimes, Venus, she did in the slams to win them, but I feel like Justine was like Serena's problem for so long. Like in the late 2000s, which, by then Serena had figured out how to beat Venus for the most part, right? But Justine was like Serena's biggest problem for so long. And had she have not retired early, or gone and had kids and, hung up the racket before she was 30, she may have won more. Because she was number 1 in the world as well when she stopped, like Enon. Sharapova is definitely in that conversation too, though. Sharapova, the second best player of the decade? The century? I don't know. It's love 40. Good question. I don't know the answer without doing more research. Love 40. Justine would have won 2 or 3 more slams had she have won for 5 more years. She played 5 more years, maybe. Anyways, that goes out by Swiatek on the return, 15-40. I mean, I tell you what, chat. Are we watching the second best player of the century? I mean, is it her? Is it Iga? Is Iga the second best player of the century? behind Serena? I mean, maybe. We'll have to find out. Maybe in 5 years, we'll know. Return goes in the forehand of Fett. Backhand of Swiatek is good. Fett with a volley in the net, and there it is, 4-2. I mean, Swiatek's got 5 slams, and she's just getting started. So, if Swiatek has 10 slams, I think it's undeniable. Because that's more than the others that we talked about. $152 titles between the Williams sisters is insane. 152 titles between... Are you talking about doubles as well, though? Not yet, but definitely possible. Ennen versus... Venus lost to Ennen 2 times and won 9 times. Okay. Yeah, it's a good question, though. It's a good question. Because straight away you think Venus, right? Because you're like, well, Venus was in the final against Serena all the time, and you know she won a bunch of slams. But then you go, well, but Justine beat Serena. Oh, chat. I see. I need to know now. I need to know. For my own sanity. 15 love here. I need to know how many slams did Justine win by beating Serena, and how many did Venus win by beating Serena. Because I think that might be the answer. 2004 French Open. No, Australian Open. Serena didn't play. Or Serena wasn't there. Or Serena was out. Justine won. So that's 0. Justine French Open 2003. Beat Serena in the semis. Won the title. That's 1. Justine beat Sharapova along the way. But didn't play Serena in 05 French. Where was Serena in 05? Serena wasn't there. All right. So that's 0. So that's 1, still 1. Justine 2006 French beat Clijsters, but Serena also wasn't there. Where the hell was Serena in the 2000s? She was injured at the French Open the whole time? All right, 2007 French. Serena got beaten by Justine. That's 2. 30-15, by the way. Justine, US Open 03. She beat Capriati and Clijsters. No Serena. No Serena. Serena was the reigning champion but did not participate. 2007 US Open, Justine beat Serena and Venus. Oh, that's a run. And then Kuznetsova, who was a former champion. So 3 out of the 4 slams she won, she beat Serena. And then the one time she beat Venus and Serena at the US Open. I mean, that's a crazy thing to do. How did she do that? And then Venus, she beat Serena in 2000 to win Wimbledon. She didn't play Serena in 2001. Swiatek 5-2. She didn't play Serena in 05 Wimbledon. She didn't play Serena in 07 Wimbledon. By the way, Justine Ennen beat Serena in 07 Wimbledon. Just saying. She did beat Serena in 08 Wimbledon. 2000 US Open, she didn't play Serena. No, Serena lost to Davenport. And then 2001, she beat Venus. Chat, we're coming down to 3-all. God damn it. So they both won 3 times against Serena to win the slam out of the 7 they were. So now we just come back to nothing then. It's a dead heat. They're equal second, right? Equal second best. God, I thought there would be one player had done one more than... half of their slams, they had to beat Serena to get them. So that doesn't help anybody. Head-to-head, yeah, but that doesn't... I don't think head-to-head makes as big of a difference. That can't be the tiebreaker. Because we're not talking about who was better against one another. We're talking about who was the second best player of the decade, of the century. And we can't just go based off head-to-head because it's about head-to-head against everybody. Right? What was Venus's head-to-head against Serena? What was Venus's head-to-head against Clijsters? What was Venus's head-to-head against every player of the 2000s, right? we can't just base it off like what was their head-to-head together, because there's so like Venus might have beaten Enin a lot, but Enin might have beaten Serena a lot, right? And beaten Clijsters and beaten all the other greats of the decade. And Venus might not have had a good record against it. So we can't just base it off, base it off that. Because it's not who was better between the two, it was who's the second better. It's not a head-to-head battle, right? Anyways, Swiatek's about to win 5-2. I still stand by the fact that we're probably watching the second best player of the century. She just hasn't won enough titles yet to prove that, but Swiatek's my second best player of the century in the making. She's already won 4 French Opens and a US Open, and I'm sure she's going to get an Australian Open eventually, and then she'll probably go for a Wimbledon, and she'll probably win a couple more French, and a US Open is always there. So I think Swiatek is the second best player of the century, but she just has to win a couple more titles. As the return goes into the forehand of Fett, forehand from Swiatek on the stretch, 15 love, love 15, as that goes in the net by Swiatek, 15 all. Maria won all 4 majors, she did. She sure did. $15 serve again. Into the forehand is a fault by Fett, second serve. By the way, Chad, is the schedule coming out for Stuttgart tomorrow? Kind of want to know what the hell's going on. Return goes into the backhand, but it's a winner by Swiatek, 15-30. 15-30. $15-30. As Fett serves again. There's a fault, second serve. Second serve. Is a double fault. All right, match points for Swiatek to take her first win on clay since the Olympics. By the way, the last match that she played at the Olympics, she actually won a bronze medal. I was mistaken. I thought she lost to Zhang. She did lose to Zhang, but then she beat Schmidlova. Swiatek to get to the quarterfinals of Stuttgart. And she'll await the winner of tomorrow's match between Navarro and Penko. So the forehand Swiatek, forehand from Fett. Down the line winner, one save, 30-40. 30-40. Sabalenka will win Wimbledon this year. That would be kind of cool. I would love Swiatek to go 4 in a row at the French, and then Sabalenka wins Wimbledon. And then they can battle it out for the US Open. That'd be awesome. Anyways, return goes in. No, it goes out. No, it was a fault. So it's a second serve. Second serve. Double fault to finish. Double faults for Fett. Maybe a little bit tired after a very good win over Vekic in the first round, but Swiatek is into the quarterfinals. She gets it done. GG. I tell you, she's got a tough opponent no matter who it is. Coming up next in the next couple of days. But she won't be playing until Saturday, so she's got a couple of days off. GG's. All right. How about Sabalenka and Swiatek not winning a slam this year? I mean, that could happen. Andreeva wins the French. Keys wins Wimbledon. Gauff wins the US. I mean, if for example. Or maybe, Andreeva wins the French and Raducanu wins Wimbledon or something. Or Pegula wins the US. I mean, yeah, it could happen. But I would be very shocked if it did. Andreeva is a threat this year at all the majors. I agree. No worries, Deja. Krejcikova winning the US Open? She would, wouldn't she? She could. Eala winning the US Open. Ooh, there's something. Greg's making friends. Thanks for the ranking show. One of my favorite parts. Oh, nice. I'm glad you like it. That's probably the thing that probably takes the most amount of editing, but if you like it, then it's worth it. It's definitely the hardest thing to do on the channel. Well, the hardest thing to make. Streams are not easy either, but the ranking show definitely takes the most time to produce. Did Swiatek lose before quarterfinals of only the last year by Abby Collins? After that. Wait, what? I don't know. I don't know. Are we going to stream golf tomorrow? Maybe. I don't know what's happening tomorrow. Oh, Rude's about to break back into Medvedev. I don't know what the schedule is for tomorrow, so unless the schedule just came out. Schedule hasn't come out yet. It'll come out when I go offline because it always does. As soon as I click offline, it will they'll release the schedule. Just wondering when your new merch is coming. You mean the cards? Hopefully soon, because I just gotta figure out how to deliver them. But hopefully soon. What do you think Medvedev's ceiling is? Top 25. I don't know. I haven't watched enough of him to know. I have to watch him more. Have a good rest, Swiatek, and we will be back here for the next match. There you go. I would love Krejcikova to pop up out of nowhere and win another slammer this year. I would too. I would love that too. Krejcikova winning the US Open. I'm for it. Let's go. Let's go. That would be fun. I'd take Krejcikova popping up and just winning a 1000 event. Why don't you collab with Andy Roddick? Because he's Andy Roddick and I'm some random dude. Andy's talking to. He doesn't know we exist, chap. Well, he doesn't know I exist. He might know you exist because you guys watch him and maybe comment on his videos. But yeah, Andy ain't messing with random tennis fans like me. Krejcikova Korea Grand Slam. Let's go. Can you imagine? Krejcikova wins 4 slams and they're all different. That'd be wild. Krejcikova delivers when you least expect it. Zverev doesn't deliver when you expect it most. Well, that's harsh. Zverev didn't deserve that. What was that for? Yeah, no. Don't harass anybody. Look. Don't flood any comment sections with anything, all right? Just leave it. Just let it be. If it's meant to happen, the universe will make it so, all right? Just let it happen. Let it be. We don't need to do that. It's fine. All right? Just let it, If the collaboration happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's fine. We don't need to annoy anyone. If Krejcikova completes Korea Grand Slam, but Sabalenka and Swiatek don't, it would be wild. Oh, yeah. But that would be really such a Krejcikova thing to do. she could do that. Where's Osaka playing next? Madrid next week, I think. It's not that. Yeah. If you were Petchy, would you coach Raducanu full time? No. Mark Petchy got a great gig as a commentator. Why would he give that up to be a coach, which is can be a very unstable, unreliable profession? You know? Could Djokovic second best player of the 2000s? Maybe. Rude's in trouble. Oh, me. I'm going to have to watch the rest of his match. Petchy won't do it. He'll keep Tennis Channel gig. Yeah. If Petchy. I mean, Mark Petchy's not going to be a full time coach. It's like Paul Annacone, right? Paul Annacone coaches Fritz, but he doesn't coach Fritz. You know, not full time anyway. He's not there all the time. He's not traveling to every tournament. But he does. He shows up and he does guide Fritz at times, but he's not the coach. I think Petchy will probably do that with Raducanu. He'll be there at times, but I don't think he'll be full time. He's going to give up his commentary Tennis Channel gigs. Nah. And look, we like Raducanu, but being her coach is also not the most she has changed a lot of coaches. So it's like, well, would it be, again, I don't know if it's I don't think he would do it. But he did help her play really well in Miami. So, I mean, she would be crazy not to at least try and get him to help her more often at the big tournaments, right? Grosjean gave his FTF big job to coach Fils, and Fils fired him. Yeah, but I'm sure that the French Tennis Federation will bring Grosjean back. You know, I'm sure he'll go back and they'll be happy to have him back. You know. Thanks, Gene. Damn. All right, cool. Will we watch Fokina Rublev tomorrow? I don't know. Depends on the schedule. Really? Fernley hasn't played on clay in 6 years. Really? That's crazy. Casper Ruud is down 4-2. Fernley's last match on clay was back in 2019 in the juniors. The hell? They don't have clay courts in the UK? It's crazy. Yep, that's it for the day. We're done. We are done. We are done for the day. Fernley went to college in the US. Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. Ruud, Zverev, Tsitsipas, Medvedev, Rublev are they in form to win the French Open this year? No. Alcaraz is the only player that's in the form to win the French at this rate. All right, chat. We'll be back tomorrow to do it all again. Again, I'm not sure exactly what we're watching, but I can tell you that we'll watch Alcaraz, but I'm not sure what else. Because we do have Andreeva versus Alexandrova, which could be interesting. Gauff plays tomorrow as well. So there's a couple of names. Pegula. So yeah. So I don't know exactly what we're watching tomorrow, but stay tuned. The only one that I can safely say would be Alcaraz. But Swiatek wins 2-2. She gets her clay court season back. Or she gets her clay court season off to a good start. And wins her match. She gets a couple of days off now. She'll play on Saturday because there's no tennis on Friday in Germany. So, yeah, good start for Swiatek. She beats Fett. She's into the quarterfinals. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you tomorrow.